I'm Vicki Hogarth, and welcome to Southwest Magazine. For one weekend, every August, St. Andrews becomes Atlantic Canada's capital of woodcarving as artists, collectors, and enthusiasts gather for one of the region's premier carving events. The 20th annual New Brunswick Woodcarving Competition and Sale returns August 7th to 9th, transforming Sir James Dunn Academy into a showcase of extraordinary craftsmanship. Hosted by the New Brunswick Woodcarving Association, the event welcomes carvers from across the Maritimes and beyond to compete for cash and purchase awards while celebrating the art and tradition of woodcarving. Open to the public on Saturday and Sunday, the weekend features hundreds of hand-carved works, live demonstrations, workshops, chainsaw carving, raffles, a large silent auction, and family-friendly activities, making it a destination for seasoned carvers and curious newcomers alike. Helping bring it all together is Gord Willett, a respected woodcarver, longtime member of the New Brunswick Woodcarving Association, and one of the driving forces behind the annual event. Gord also leads the popular free youth carving workshop each year, introducing the next generation to the craft through hands-on instruction and mentorship. He is with us today to discuss woodcarving, the evolution of the event over the past 2 decades, and why St. Andrews has become a must-visit destination for woodcarvers from across the region and beyond. Thank you so much, Gord, for coming in and sitting down with me today.
Thank you, Vicki. Thank you. Nice to be here.
It was quite an introduction, but one I felt was so necessary considering this incredible event that I have been going to, I guess now I know, for 20 years. 20 years though, what an accomplishment and what an evolution. How does it feel?
It's an amazing thing. I think I'd like to think it's the second largest show of its kind in Canada after the Canadian Nationals. And to have gotten from where we were to where we are today is really something to be quite proud of, you know. We have carvers coming from all over Canada and the United States. Last year we had somebody from Louisiana come up. We had a carving there last year from Europe. So we're getting to be really quite well known. And people just love St. Andrews, you know. There's lots of reasons to have the show in St. Andrews. It's a resort town. You don't need a reason to want to come to St. Andrews. So, but the show itself kind of adds to it. And that weekend, it's a big weekend. The hotels are full. Many of them rooms were booked from a year ago. I booked my room a year ago, you know, for this event. So, yeah, it's a good show, wonderful show.
And also, I mean, St. Andrews, when we think of it as, in terms of being a place of inspiration for carvers, birds are often such a big subject for carvers.
That's
but also
right.
We have people like Bob Carney who have represented this part of the world so well.
Bob has represented carvings in this part of the world. In fact, Bob Carney started the show 20 years ago. I think Sean Corrigan was involved in those days. And he was active as a board member for many years. Then the boards changed, as they always do, and a new blood came in. And today, thanks to all of those from before, we're in a position where we are today. You know, so it's really quite something.
And I think what is so impressive about what you've done is that you've really connected it to the next generations as well. And you see so much. I know from the young people that come to the TV station, there seems to be this new love of things like wood carving, hands-on things that aren't tech-based.
I'd like to think that's true, and we try to encourage it. I do a youth carving class every Sunday at the show. That'll be on August the 9th, I guess. I have one spot left. You know, we take 10 children. And at that part of it, they'll carve out something, and this year I think it'll be a mushroom. We have a sponsor in Marwood that will give the kids each of the rotary tool and a bit to carve with, and they get to keep that in the carving. No charge for the course. We hope the kids pick it up and get a love for it. For many of them, they've never had a power tool in their hands, and that's exciting. And at the end of the day, I'm not sure whether that's more fun, the kids or myself. So I've been doing it for a few years. I hope to continue doing it for a long time in the future. I love working with the kids.
What do you hear back from the children, from the families, about what they get out of it? And because I know there are parents and even kids watching right now wondering how they get that last spot. In your workshop, how do you get involved?
Well, that's part of the problem, and that the lack of instructors. You know, when the show's over and they've had their introduction, they need to go and find somebody that can mentor them again and again and again until they get to be, you know, they can do it on their own. So the world needs more instructors. And in this area, I think there's two, actually. Bob used to do it, of course. I think Tim Griffin's going to be teaching some down here now, and I believe Sean Corrigan is about ready to open up a studio. So there is some hope for new carvers, if you're interested locally, that can pick up the craft, and maybe you see them in the competition next year.
Why do you think this new generation enjoys this form of artistship, craftsmanship so much?
I don't know if it's any different this generation or in the past. It's so much fun when you can take something from nothing and make something out of it. And it gets them away from their little phones, right? And when they can get lost in a craft and really build something or make something, there's a sense of accomplishment that they don't get anywhere else. So that's what we try to encourage. And I think we've made some success. Some of the kids that I have taught at this seminar over the years compete at the show, and they bring their carvings in. I think there is a purchase award for youth carving. I think it's put up by Walter Bidlake, and I think it's $100 for the best youth carving. So $100 for kids, pretty good money, you know.
And okay, so I was on your website right before you came in today, and
Yes.
I even saw a purchase award from my friend Sue Lister from Picket Fence
Yes.
Motel,
Yeah.
and it got me curious, potentially for personal reasons, about what a purchase award is. Is it something you as a business could sponsor, and then?
A purchase award is put up by a sponsor, in this case, Picket Fence. We have cooks who put up a purchase award. Irving has put up, and so what it is, in the case of Picket Fence, for example, they love Santa Clauses. So every year they actually buy a Santa Claus, and they'll buy it for X number of dollars. And we put that information out almost a year in advance to the carving community, that there's a purchase award for X number of dollars for Santa. And that encourages many different carvers to create a carving of a Santa so that they can win the money. Picket Fence gets the carving, and the carver gets the cash, and that's how it works. So cooks have put up a purchase award for a pheasant this year, any size, ringneck pheasant, and it's $1,500. So we're hoping to see lots of different pheasants at the show, and one of them will walk away with $1,500, and cooks will get the carving. So it's really, the show itself doesn't benefit financially from it, but it does encourage high-end carvers to compete for the money. There was a few years ago, we had in total something like $20,000 in purchase, no, I'm sorry, around $13,000 in purchase award in total. So that's significant money. And the only other show in Canada that can come close to that is the Nationals. Many shows in Canada and different provinces don't have any purchase awards. So we do that to encourage them to come, and as a result, we brought so many more carvers in from all over the country.
Well, since my mother is a big fan of Bob Carney, I hear her voice in my head right now, and she also loves puffins. So let's say, here's my hypothetical. If I wanted to do a purchase award for a puffin, that's something that any organization, person, or business could do, and you put an award price on it. And
yes, in fact, last year there was a purchase award for a puffin, and I think at the show there was probably 10. The person that bought, I think the carving that won was actually done from somebody in New York. And so they walked away with some money, and the sponsor got a beautiful puffin, you know. So, and in many cases, and in most cases, the carving that they get is worth many times more than what they've offered.
right.
There was one year we did an Atlantic salmon. JDI bought it. It's outside Jim Irving's office right now. It was absolutely incredible. I thought it was real. So they were very pleased with that, and the carver was happy to receive the money. So it does help bring carvers to the show.
Wow, and I imagine too that also gives them potentially a place to have their artwork showcased.
That's right too. That's right, and they get their name out there. It's quite a ribbon in your hat when you end up winning the purchase award. I have to have a pheasant this year, so I'm hoping that mine might actually blaze them, and but who knows?
Wow.
I say that every year, and I have yet to win a purchase award. There's a gentleman from Nova Scotia comes up, Maurice Eisner. Maurice is 93 this year, and can beat me every time, and I love the man. But one day I hope he stays home and maybe give me a chance.
Well, I want anyone who, and I have a feeling so many people who are watching this show right now have been, if they are in the Southwest New Brunswick region, but if they haven't, we really need to describe to people, when you go into Sir James Dunn Academy, the gymnasium is just full, and it's row after row of different levels of competition, different types of competition.
Yes.
Set the stage for 2026 and what will there's also some themes going on as well.
That's right.
Okay.
So at the show, what you can expect, we'll have a supplier that supplies all of. They're my supplier. I buy everything from them. So there's nothing that a carver would ever want that they don't have at this particular show. There'll be a table for youth, so there'll be displays of all the youth carvings, and then it goes up to novice. So beyond youth, you're really getting into it. There's a whole bunch of those carvings. And then the intermediate, and then the masters. And so in every table, there would be a division of, let's say, songbirds or birds of prey or animals or folk art or whatever. And all of these, all categorized, so that it's not just about birds. And so that's all there. On part of it will be silent auction, which is a big draw. And a fellow here, Roland and Baker and Carol Ann Bartlett, they're big on that. And they get a lot of help and support from the community. And we very much appreciate it. It really contributes to our financial health. We're a nonprofit. There's no admission to the show. It's free will. So if you'd like to drop some bucks in the pot, well, we welcome it. But we get our revenues from the sponsors and from the silent auction. There'll be other items there auctioned off, so there'd be draws for this or that. There's some workshops that the public could be interested in, and they're all listed under our website, which is www.nbcarving.ca, and workshops are listed there. So if you're interested in learning how to do a certain aspect of carving, sign up for a workshop, and there's still some spaces available. And the different times through the weekend they'll be offered. The youth one is on Sunday morning. There's one where they're painting a white-breasted nuthatch, so everybody will be supplied with a little nuthatch, and they get to paint that from a master carver. There's a wood burning demonstration where you'll do some actually wood burning by a lady from Amanda Arsenault from St. John, who's really incredibly good at it. And so these are great things to take in. Wow. Yeah, and there'll be some live demonstrations. There's a lady there from Moncton area, Alice, will be doing some relief carving. She shows her stuff all over Europe. So she'll be there, and she just loves to communicate with people and show them what she does.
I have to say that some of my favorite memories from going to the wood carving competition at Sale are seeing those live demonstrations. There was one year, I think I was watching Swamp Bear. I know his carving name, Joel Palmer.
Joel was there a couple of years.
That's his legal name, but Swamp Bear is how he's best known.
Yeah.
And got fascinated with his art. And it turns out he was from a big reality show competition. Is it making the cut? It was a wood carving show.
We have a chainsaw carver this year coming again, and so he'll be set up outside because he makes too much noise and wood chips. So he'll be outside creating something or other, or 2 or 3 items, and of course he'll have some things for sale. He's a well-known carver. Ryan Little from my hometown, Harvey, and Ryan's got a real good name for himself. In fact, he had some big commissions to do some major sculptures for the Irvings, and They have them all over the nature parks. So Ryan has really got a name for himself now.
Wow. I mean, I see it as someone who lives in this community, what the event brings to the community in terms of tourism. You said yourself you had to book your hotel room about a year up to secure. But what have you noticed over the years? What's the feedback you've heard from the business community in town, from the locals, about what it brings here?
They support the show. I guess that shows up with all of what they offer. I mean, through their silent auctions. And their willingness to put our posters up through all their stores and their storefronts. So we draw a good number of people to St. Andrews over the weekend, whether they stay the night or not, but they certainly, many come just for the show. But the nice thing about St. Andrews is that, and why we love St. Andrews so much, is that it's just the right size of a town. If you're in St. Andrews, you know there's a show. And well, you can do your shopping and your whale watching and do all of that too, and I hope they do, but they also see the banners and a sign up the road, hey, you got an hour, let's take in the show. And so they walk up King Street and they're there. And everybody that comes to St. Andrews knows there's a show. At one time, there was talk of maybe moving the show to a big city. And you know what, that would have been a horrible mistake, because there's just too much stuff going on, and it's lost, and nobody comes. But here, the arena will be full. There's times that it's full, and it's really well supported by the public, and that in itself creates an excitement, not just for the public, but also for the carvers. When they see a crowd, and the oohing and the awing, and oh my gosh, look at that, they love it. Our artists feed on praise, and you know, most of us have a pretty big ego.
Well, I mean, it speaks for itself that I've gotten to know some of the carvers over the years just from attending the event itself. When it comes to you being a carver, being associated, what do you look forward to most about this annual event?
That's an easy question, Vicki, for me, because, well, I like to compete. For me, that's a small part of the show. I like to get reconnected with people. I've been carving for 45 years. I've been an instructor for 40. I've been involved in shows like this for 30 years. I've met so many friends, lifelong friends and acquaintances. It has changed my life. And for me, when I come to St. Andrews on that weekend, I'm looking forward to meeting up some old friends again.
Well, and I think it's nice to be able to tell people, you're at the market here on Thursdays too, so if people want to talk to Gord Willett from the Woodcarving Association, even leading up to this, they can find you at the Thursday market in Market Square.
They certainly can, and I never get tired of talking about woodcarving. I like to share it from anybody that wants to learn, so I can always point them in the right direction.
And you involve the audience, the people that come out to the word carving competition. There's a People's Choice element.
Yes, there is, and that's that's an award that I've won a few times. I'm happy to say, it's the best award in my world, because the public get to choose their best carving. We've opened it up. It used to be that there was one People's Choice for the 200 carvings. But that left the youth out. That left the novice out. That left the intermediate out, because always the masters got the best. So we've opened up People's Choice to all 4 levels, so that somebody that's 12 years old can walk away with a big ribbon and a smile on their face because they got People's Choice. There was one year, one of my students won overall People's Choice. He did a life-size eagle, and I remember that. And I was so proud of him. So we've opened it up to all categories, and so in every category somebody gets to take a ribbon home. So it's a nice award.
It's pretty special to be a part of choosing the winner, especially when you can see it maybe could be something that launches a career. I know Randy Russell is a local carver who people might know from Campobello Whale Rescue, but whales are his specialty, and he knows them well.
He is an incredible carver. And I've seen his work, and early, from the very beginning, he did a wonderful job on whales, an incredible job on whales. Yeah, so there's lots of local talent here in St. Andrews, and that's all started, I think, with Bob, and it's continued, and so it's a very active carving community, St. Andrews.
Do you think there's something to be said for, in New Brunswick too, our ties to nature? Does that sort of add to people's ability to? What I'm always most struck by when I'm at the event is just how lifelike some of the carvings are. Just how, even if they're tiny, if it's a whale, it seems that these carvers know the inside out, these creatures that they recreate.
It's true. And if there's carvings there, many carvings there, from carvers that compete in Ocean City, Maryland at the World's Championship. And they win ribbons at the World. So these are artists, the best in the world will be at our show. Our judge competes at the world level. So I am blown away with the carvings that I see. I hope that one day that I could, well, I can't imagine ever being that good. Absolutely incredible carvings. Yeah, and you'll never get a chance to see them anywhere else. These are displayed in galleries. Some of them, I don't know, they sell in some cases for hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, they're absolutely incredible art.
Wow.
Yeah.
So over 200 pieces is what you expect to see.
We over the years we've had 200 carvings and sometimes more, which is a good number. It's a lovely number. Lots to see. Not all birds, all kinds of different carvings. Good variety.
When it comes to the carvers, let's say you said last year Louisiana, people coming from all over. What is the draw that you hear from them to coming to this competition, besides how big it is in North America?
I think in many cases, they maybe were planning on coming to St. Andrews anyway. I think St. Andrews is the big draw. So they know there's an event in St. Andrews. So, hey, why don't we tie it together? We can go, because we've always wanted to go to the East Coast. We love St. Andrews. Let's go to St. Andrews. We'll bring some carvings. Maybe make a pay for a hotel room or something with a sale or something, and yeah, tie it all together, and that's why I think sometimes we get these big, high-end judges that in many cases charge thousands and thousands of dollars to judge, but they come here because they love St. Andrews,
and they
love
keep
the
coming
show,
back.
and they wanted a reason to come.
I will definitely be there this year. I don't like to miss it at all. But what's your final words, Gord, for people watching at home who maybe haven't been out to check it out before, but this might be their first year?
Well, if you need a reason to come to St. Andrews, I don't think you do. But anyway, if you do, there's an event in town that is well worth taking in, because it's one of a kind in the country, one of the best in the country. You'll see things there that you will never see anywhere else.
Well said, Gord, and I think too, if they come see you at the market before and see some of the exceptional, I didn't put the spotlight enough on you today because I know you wanted to talk about the competition itself, but your carvings are just incredible and something to behold, whether someone takes one home or just sees you at the market to get a vision for what you've created over the years. It's quite remarkable.
I love what I do. I've been doing it for a lot of time. A lot of years, and I've started 2 different carving clubs over the years, one in St. John and one in Fredericton. So it's a big part of my life. I'm happy to be retired for 20 years, and I can say, and honestly, I'm living a dream.
Because I love talking to artists, I have to ask, is there a favorite thing you like to carve? Is there a favorite carving that you have at home?
Well, I guess I'm a little partial to birds of prey, particularly owls. I love the raptors and owls. Birds with color. I like the local birds. I am not one that would carve something that I'm not familiar with. So the birds I see at my feeder every day, those are the ones that are special to me. So that's what I like to do.
Thank you for sharing your magic with the world. Thank you for sharing this competition with all of us in this region who are lucky enough to visit. And thank you for what you've done to make such an exceptional event in our corner of New Brunswick.
Well, thank you, Vicki, and we hope to see everybody at the show.
See you soon. My guest today has been Gord Willett of the New Brunswick Woodcarving Competition and Sale, taking place in St. Andrews at Sir James Dunn Academy from August 7th to 9th, open to the public August 8th and 9th. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Thank you for watching Southwest Magazine.
Southwest Magazine is a news and public affairs production of CHCO Television.